When dogs undergo cognitive changes with age, the way it's presenting are a series of different behaviours that owners will notice at home. And these can be captured quite nicely with the acronym DISHL. And the first letter, D, stands for disorientation. And so you'll find elderly dogs will kind of get lost. They'll wander around. They might get stuck under the table, can't figure out how to get out. You also see that they change their interactions. So that's the I, their social interactions with owners. They may become more clingy, more needy, or they may become more aloof and hide away a little bit more. Now, one that owners will really suffer from if it happens is sleep disruptions. And that can have quite some effects, significant effects on the family and their sleep patterns as well. Another one that will immediately flag to owners is house soiling. And it's usually not because they're incontinent, although of course that can happen with age as well. It's usually because they just haven't quite figured out that they're not outside. They've kind of lost that learned behavior. And then at the end, we have a little cluster of changes. So there's anxiety. We will see many dogs get more anxious. They might do things like obsessively lick more. They may become more anxious when owners leave their home, for example. And then there is the more profound loss of memory and loss of learned behaviors. And all those together kind of give that canine cognitive dysfunction syndrome.
And so the way that leap years works is at the cellular level. The pet takes chews out of the bag inside the bottle, and those chews have a combination of the senolytic and the NAD booster. As dogs age, their health declines, and they show more and more signs of aging at a steady rate. Over the years, research suggests that interventions can help flatten the curve and slow down aging. One such intervention is boosting NAD. Research conducted at Harvard University under renowned geneticist David Sinclair has indicated that boosting NAD has a variety of health benefits. In dogs, this can mean more vitality, more activity, better brain function, and more engagement in family life. Leap years is shown to start working quickly by increasing NAD in just 48 hours, making it an exceptional option for helping to slow down aging in dogs and giving the brand confidence to pursue a double-blind, placebo-controlled study.
I think the biggest impact that I noticed during the trial was her ability to go up the stairs.
I noticed a difference. My family would be like, Zoe's really spry. Zoe's jumping on the couch. Zoe's running laps around our kitchen. And I'm like, I know.
I think the single biggest impact that this trial had on Haley was giving her the ability to age in a more graceful way. Haley's joints were improving during the course of the trial.
When people ask me how old she is and I have to say 16, they're like, oh, I would have assumed that she was like 10 or 11. And I think a lot of it is the mobility. Like she really would come home and get on the couch and go to sleep and then put herself to bed at 9 or 10. But now, Zoe picks up toys. That's new, and that's 10-year-old Zoe.
Double-blind, placebo-controlled trials are the kind of top pinnacle of how we run clinical trials. So it means that no one in the group knows what they're receiving. They are either receiving an active supplement or a placebo version of the supplement.
So taking on a placebo-controlled, double-blinded clinical trial for a manufacturer is quite high risk. It's high risk because there is a placebo effect, always. And that can sometimes be so large that it actually hides your desired effect. It's also high risk because you have to have quite a big effect to be able to detect it in a clinical population. So whenever we get the opportunity to do a properly designed placebo-controlled clinical trial, we jump at that opportunity.
So there is risk involved, and it's risk that is assumed for the sake of having good, strong scientific evidence. So I think it's quite admirable.
What we'll do in the morning is do kind of all of our more physical assessments and mobility assessments, including the gait speed, pressure mat analysis, so looking at their center of pressure, looking at how quickly they can walk and navigate several different obstacles, including stairs, the sustained gaze test. We'll also do an optimism pessimism test